Hello everyone, today I'm here to review Star Wars Darth Bane, Path of Destruction, the first book of the Darth Bane trilogy. This is of course by our dear friend Drew Karpyshyn, and of course is the first book I can recall that directly follows a full Dark Lord of the Sith. So there was that puppet still one that explores the training of Darth Maul. This goes into further exploration not only of the Sith Lords before the Golden Age of the Republic, but also explores the training of Darth Bane. Now this book is unbelievably enjoyable. I mean, I honestly have not read anything this enjoyable in a long time. Now I'm a big fan of Star Wars. I've read a ton of them. I've read the Thrawn trilogy, the New Jedi Academy trilogy. I've read many of them. Okay, I did the Sarah Palin answer. Oh, I've read them. No, I've read them, you know. That's our top on, you don't decide me yet, you know, complete ass. Let's see, I enjoy it. So I'm not Sarah Palin avoid the answer or something. But, first off, where should I start? Okay, Darth Bane, I find, is an interesting character. Originally a young boy growing up on a mining planet controlled by the Sith. Well, was it controlled or was it just supplying the Sith? I'd say supplying, since the Sith regularly dropped off troops there. Bane, from the start, has always been unique. He killed his own dad, who had great precognition, you know, premonitions, to predict and see something in the future coming. So that made him a great card player, because he could always tell if he was going to have a good hand or a bad hand, or that he used the Force to give his father a heart attack. Really, life on the mining planet for him was hell, with a capital H, and also helped forge Bane into a Bane. I'm sorry, it's Darth Bane, with the power to look at himself in the mirror and admire himself. No, Bane, B-A-N-E. Anyway, Bane is enjoyable. He's a monster of a man. Giant, well-developed muscles, really intimidating. Bane, how to explain him? Bane was raised by the old structure of the Sith Lord system, where there were thousands of Sith Lords throughout the system. Now, by the time Darth Bane became active, you know, the Sith had formed a brotherhood where all Sith Lords were equal. Now, this all goes against the philosophy of the strong will rule, the weak will be itself will be destroyed, and this actually will contribute to Darth Bane and his establishment of the rule of two. Now, the whole idea is Bane feels that the dark side is not like the light side of the Force. The dark side is meant to be wielded by those who are strong, and only few are truly powerful, so only the few should control the dark side. Really, the idea is, one powerful Sith Lord takes 2 apprentices rather than 1, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Eventually, the 6 younger Sith Lords get fed up of Sith apprentices, get fed up of obeying the Master, Eventually, they team up and either kill the master while he sleeps foolishly, or just overwhelm him. The problem is that he'll know the knight is not taught and everything, so much power and skill is lost. Also, another part of the rule of two is that a Sith Lord should become more powerful as he or she is replaced by their apprentice. So by Bane's logic, his apprentice, Darth Bane, is that how you pronounce her title? Should be more powerful than him, when he has taught her everything, has become too weak to lead the ruler, to be the Darth Lord of the Sith. Now you're probably wondering, that, is this why there are no more Sith, other than all the Sith under the rule of two, which goes from Bane all the way to the last Sith user, Darth Sidious, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I quite enjoy how the Sith Lords are betrayed beforehand. It gives a good explanation through the rule of two of what happens to the thousands of Dark Sith Lords, and why is there only two by the prequel trilogy. And it also explains how the Sith became so powerful over those 1,000 years. Anyway, the rise of Bane is interesting, as you see how the Sith are trained, what is their mindset. It's unique, it's interesting. Usually Jedi are the selfless, noble characters, everyone's kind or noble, or the Imperial officers were arrogant and had their hands shoved up their own rear end, so people were stuck up. But the Sith, you don't get into the Sith's mindset. You'd like to know why they were created, and this book, The Path of Destruction, really gives you an insight to the Sith. And the Sith, by their very nature, since they're the very opposite of the Jedi are united and devoted to peace. The Sith are divided and devoted to war. The thing is, for the Sith to truly be a force to be reckoned with, and to counter the thousands of Jedi, the Sith must all become united. The problem there is, all Sith wish to be the strongest. They wish to rule all they view less beneath them. So for one almighty Sith to bow before another is then to make him look weak, which is against the code. So really the insight you get about all these different theories and insights, and also how the Sith operated back then, is amazing. I loved this novel. It's joyful. Also, anyone who's ever read the comic Star Wars Jedi vs. Sith, Bane makes an appearance, you'll probably recognize him. The little girl at the end that he meets, yeah, spoiler, she's in it, and so's the brother. They'll become very important in the sequel, which is called Rule of Two, which I've basically hinted at. Other notable features, Darth Bane is the leader of the Brotherhood, while the Jedi Knight Lord Hoth, not the last name Hoth. Also, a lot of the characters, Darth Bane is clearly very powerful and has unique control of force persuasion, since that's hinted at as how he keeps the Brotherhood of Sith united, of the Brotherhood of Darkness, sorry. And also, Lord Hoth, you'd think, okay, Jedi, they're usually cheery and humble. Hoth is more like Dr. McCoy if he were a Jedi. Damn it, Jim, I'm a Jedi, not a Sith. He's really grumpy, really bitter, but he leads the army of light, and Really, I enjoy it. This book does, it's very good taste. There are lots of characters. I know I might say I'm bad at reviewing. Really, the writing's good. The characters are well developed. It's an interesting period since it hasn't been explored much, and it does help to explain the logic that Darth Sidious or Palpatine operates under. This is great, it's well done, I would recommend it, all Star Wars.